what it is, what it was, and what it will be. This your boy JJ16, and welcome back to my channel where I talk about the Razorbacks and some things SEC. Today I want to talk about the drafting of Jonathan Marshall. Congratulations to him. And what does this mean for us, for the Razorbacks? Let's talk about it.
50 up and 50 down, I be wearing everything. 20 on and 20 round, 24s on everything.
All right. Congratulations to Jonathan Marshall. He was drafted in the 5th round, number 23rd pick in the 5th round. So I want to say congratulations to him. I was hoping that there would be more Razorbacks drafted, especially Felipe Franks. I thought he had a really solid chance of getting in there, maybe 6th round as well. But from the job that he did, not only here at Arkansas last year, but also in Florida, the potential that he's shown, he has been picked up by a team anyway, but I was hoping to see him get drafted and get one of them contracts. I don't know what's the difference in the late round pick that get made or someone that get picks up, but I was hoping to see his name get featured as drafted. But still, a congratulations to Jonathan Marshall. He was the only Razorback that was drafted this year in 2021. What does that mean? On one hand, it means that Arkansas now has continued to put at least one player in the NFL draft. So that continues on to next year. And it means another thing. I was looking at, and I know the draft was over a week ago, but last weekend. But I was thinking about this, and I was watching social media and seeing what social media say about Arkansas only having one draft, and reading some comments. But it was a stat that came out from the SEC network. They put out that all the teams in the SEC, congratulations to the SEC as well. You know, every team in the SEC has had a player drafted into the draft this year. That is good. That tells you how strong our conference is. We lead all conference in the most amount of players drafted. Talks about how dominant the SEC is and how hard it is to win in this conference. I think fans of other teams, and I think some fans also that talked about Arkansas need to try to go get into the Big 12, something like that. To it just, I don't know, that baffles me. I don't stop running from competition. Okay. Try, I don't know, for once in your life, and I ain't saying all fans are doing this, but for once in your life, have some courage, man. Be like, you want be the one to beat the best. In order to be the best, you got to beat the best. Alabama is the best. So we need to develop our players. We need to recruit better to get to that point where we can beat them. We can contend in the SEC. Stop running from competition, trying to go the easy route. And I ain't saying for y'all Big 12 teams or fans out there that the Big 12 is easy. It's easier than the SEC. That's all I'm saying. It's easier than the SEC or coming out of the SEC. You easier to come out of the Big 12 than you would coming out of the SEC because of the talent that's there. At this point of time and year, on whatever timeline you want to put it on, it's easier to come out of that conference than it is this one. Anyway, that's a little side rant. But the Marshall getting drafted and us having only one SEC. I'm gonna put that chart up there with the SEC put out there, the graph. We had one player get drafted in his draft, Jonathan Marshall. Vanderbilt had one player get drafted in the draft. Now, so we down there with Vanderbilt, probably the worst football team in this conference, and we have been looked at like that for the past two coaching staff. Towards the end of Brett Bielema's years here, and Chad Morris. Jonathan Marshall being the only one drafted from Arkansas tells me this. This is what happens when your team is mediocre for the past 4-5 years before you come to this coaching staff. The previous coaches, first of all, Brett won recruiting worth the crap. This whole notion with he gotta get his guys, the guys that he wanted, the ones that whatever excuse that he wanted to say it was. No, he just wasn't recruiting like he should have been. Chad Morris, he had some good recruits come in. I mean, you can't deny him that fact. He can recruit, but development wise, he sucked at that. And this draft just shows you how has it been. I mean, this is the seed that comes from that tree. So I was strolling through social media and I'm seeing some people like, what does this say about our current head coach, Sam Pittman? Nothing. It says absolutely nothing about Sam Pittman. Because as far as I can tell, Sam Pittman is the one that's developing, is Sam Pittman and his coaching staff. This past year and this year is the ones developing our players into more talented players. Is the one that's giving them the confidence to go out there to win a game in the SEC. So this says nothing about Sam Pittman. This says everything about the previous coaching staff in the end of Brett Bielema as to why they're no longer here at Arkansas. That's exactly what it says. Now, yes, some players we thought just should have been drafted, but that's us. They didn't see it like that. There's us. Felipe should have had a better chance, but that's just me. But I'm going to tell you right now, I think Arkansas, I'm going to put that draft up. I think Arkansas is going to be in the middle of the pack next year when it comes to having players drafted into the draft. I think we're going to have 5 players drafted into the draft next year. And 2 possibles. 5 and 2 possibles. We already know Treylon Burks is predicted to go into the top 25, being a top 25 pick in the NFL draft next year. It's a given. The dude is dominant. The dude is good. People seeing it. People know. But I think I'm just gonna give you my 5, and then I'll give you my 2 possibles. I got Treylon Burks going in the first round, of course, top 25 pick. I got Stormberg, Ricky, from Boys in the Hood when they be like, anyway, that's what pops up. Even all the time I hear Ricky, the Boys in the Hood, when Ricky got shot, popped in my head. But anyway, the way they said his name, Ricky, I got Ricky going. Yes, he can come back for another year, but I think with our offensive line, this is why I say Ricky. With our offensive line putting on weight last year, you can see they trying to adjust to that weight. This year, they have adjusted to that weight and put on more muscle. In our offensive linemen are in the 300s right now. You go back and you look at Pig Trail Nation on YouTube, where they talk about where they interview Stromberg, how he said he's dealt with the weight, how he's carrying himself. He feels stronger, he feels faster. I have every, I want to say, support, or what is it when you feel like confidence. I have every confidence in our offensive line and the domination of our offensive line this coming year. So I think Stromberg is going to be a big part of that, and I think Stromberg is somebody that's going to get drafted next year. Personal opinion. I got our two linebackers, which is starting linebackers, Bumper Poole and Grant Morgan. Those two, that makes 4. Grant Morgan, I got Grant Morgan. I think they're gonna slight him a little bit. I hate it, because I think Grant Morgan has pulled every bit of those accolades that he got about being an SEC player, SEC first team, second team, whatever team they put him on, but an all SEC player, and the fact that he was just a walk-on, man. And he made it to this point. The thing that they're going to slight him for in the NFL draft is the fact that he's short. And that's going to push him back. I think somebody's going to give him a chance. Somebody's going to give him a chance. And I believe that he's probably going to go either 6 to 7 round. But he will be drafted. To me. And I don't see how you don't give him a chance with all those accolades, the things he did done. You look at his film. The man. He feel like he was a 4 or 5 star player being recruited, but he wasn't. He was a walk on. He built himself to this point, and I think that all of that's gonna pay off with him getting drafted this coming year. And I got a DB, Buster Brown. I think he's going to get drafted as well. I think the DBs are strong, led by Catalan. Some people think Catalan is going to come out and get drafted, but I do not. I think Catalan is going to stay one more year with the Razorbacks, and then he will leave us and go and continue with his professional career. But I think he's going to give us one more. But there's Buster Brown. I think Buster Brown's gone. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's the 5. And the 2 possibles is another offensive lineman, Ty Clary. I know some of y'all don't know who Ty Clary is. But trust me, this year you would know who Ty Clary is. Just trust me. I think he's a possible. I know I'm not a future teller. I can't predict the future. So I can only go by what I believe will happen with Ty Clary. I think Ty Clary is just as good as Stromberg to me on the offensive linemen for as blocking, pancaking people, the likes. So I think this year he's going to benefit greatly for being over 300 and the rest of his guys beside him. He's going to show off. Our defense, our offensive line is going to be one of our strengths this year. Trust me when I tell you that. And my second possible is Joe Fouché. I love the name. I like his heart. I like his effort. Joe Fouché is another possible because of those reasons. And if you look at his film, other people would probably tell you that too. So it depends on what he do this year. Like you heard, none of those things. Stay healthy. And I mean, of course, all of my picks depends on health, except for Trey Burks. All of my picks depends on health, whether they finish this year off. But those are the ones I think. I think 5 is going to get selected. They makes 5 and 2 possibles. That puts us in the middle of the pack next year. And yeah, that's it, man. That's what I think it is. Some people gonna have very few. Some people still ain't gonna respect Arkansas, but that's just what it is, man. All right, that's it for me, y'all. Peace.